Welcome to the world of PUBG Mobile, where every second counts and split-second decisions can be the difference between victory and defeat. One of the most critical skills for any PUBG Mobile player is the ability to peek effectively. Peeking is the technique which will give you a tactical advantage over your opponents by exposing as little of your body as possible while still maintaining visibility of your targets. It's a skill that takes practice to master, but once you do, it can give you a significant advantage in combat. In this discussion, I'll give you some tips and tricks to help you improve your peeking skills in PUBG Mobile and increase your chances of coming out on top in every battle. So, grab your gear and get ready to become a peeking pro. Today I will teach you 3 types of peeks, which are highly useful in close to mid and long range fights. Make sure you don't skip any part in order to learn this peek skill perfectly, and at the end, I have shown you an ultimate drill to practice all peeks at once. But before I explain, make sure you focus on these 2 small points first while peeking. Point number 1. Avoid predictable patterns. If you always peek from the same spot, your opponents will quickly figure out your strategy and take advantage of it. Mix up your peeking patterns to keep your opponents guessing. Point number 2. Stay patient and focused. Patience and focus are key when peeking in PUBG Mobile. Take your time, wait for the right opportunity, and stay focused on your target. Don't rush your shots, as this can give your opponents the upper hand. Now let's discuss our peek number 1. No scope peek. Make sure your peek and ADS settings are on hold, and your peek and open scope is disabled. It's very important if you want to master all the peeks in this game. Now watch these examples. This peek is highly useful when your opponents are rushing to you in open and you are in cover. Instead of getting out from cover and trying to jiggle, use peeks like this to surprise them. It's also highly useful in Classic as well. If you try to open scope while peeking in close range, you will die definitely because you will get limited view and it gets very difficult in close to move the scope. Instead, why not using your crosshair only to kill enemy without disturbing our view? Now to practice and master this peek, come here in training ground and practice like this. Practice daily for 4 to 5 minutes and try to implement more in TDM and Classics. Now peek number 2. Pixel peek. It's the highly advanced version of normal peek. As you know, how much body gets exposed in normal peek and it gets easy for our enemies to trace us. That's why we use this type of peek to overcome that problem. Try to open your half of your scope and cover like this and keep moving your joystick towards cover like this. This is very useful in mid to long range fights and will definitely give a shock to your opponent. In this case, only a small portion of your head will be visible to your opponent, making you a very difficult target to hit. You can practice pixel peek like this, but make sure your settings are on hold, and peek and open scope is disabled. Now our last and important peek. Small peek. Watch these examples. You also want to kill enemies like this. This peek is very much useful in mid-range fights where enemy is hard scoped at you, or try to kill you with peeks. To perform this movement accurate, move little bit back from cover and hold your peek and then go out of cover, and open scope at the head of enemy, shoot 5 to 10 bullets and while shooting come back to cover. And when you combine this all, it looks like this. To practice this and master this peek, you can daily practice like this for 5 minutes. Remember, don't waste too much time on practice peeks in training ground. 10 minutes daily for all peeks is enough. Instead, try to implement these peeks in TDM matches as much as possible. By this you will learn in a more effective way. Now the ultimate drill to practice all peeks at once. Do this daily for 2 to 3 minutes. We are close to 2K subs. Make sure you like and subscribe for more amazing content like this, and if you want to improve your close range and Classics, I have pinned a link in description, make sure you check. Anyways, that's all I got for this video. See you in next one. Till then, take care and show your enemies no mercy.